What is up, everybody? Ace here, and I am back on the JFS. I'm just kind of in this weird spot. This a little bit of cave that is amongst the gigantic chunks of earth that I am digging out. And, yeah, it's been a little bit since I've last uploaded a video. Not much has happened, which is usually pretty good. I have a couple things to update for real life stuff, but in reality, there hasn't really been much going on. So, let's see, Minecraft type stuff. There's a couple things. The biggest news out of Minecraft is that the Caves and Cliffs update has been split into two updates. One of which will happen in the summer, and the other will happen near the holidays. So I didn't watch the video that was posted onto the Discord, but what I believe is probably going to happen is that the Caves update will come out first, I think, and then the Cliffs update will follow. Because we've had a lot of cave snapshots coming out, and haven't seen any Cliffs updates besides adding the goats, and we got a sneak peek of the giant mountains on the Bedrock edition, so that's about it. But in terms of the caves updates, we've seen all kinds of changes, so by the looks of it, that's what we're going to be getting first. So it's fine with me, I guess. And basically what that means is that we're probably not going to update to Season 5 until the end of the year, which I think a number of people are kind of disappointed in, which probably means that the server is going to be pretty dead all year long. So I think, with the exception of a few group events here and there, don't think much is going to happen, because, like, I'm the only one on today. I saw Shawson yesterday, and that's about it. So, it's gonna be interesting to see how things go this year. But that does mean that, first off, UHC Awards will be able to happen on time, and I will be able to finish this before the world update. So if we're not going to update to Season 5 until the end of the year, then I can actually do the underground landscape that I wanted to do. So looks like that is on, but of course I still got to dig all this out, which I can actually show you what we have left in a minute, once my inventory fills up. So we're getting there. We've got a lot done, but there's still a long way to go. Oops. That's pretty much how it's been for a while. But wasn't there other stuff? What else was there I was gonna say? What are words? What is English? I know for me personally, speaking to UHC Awards, by the time this video comes out, we'll be moving on to the finalist voting for Favorite Battle Royale. And then May is still going to be an off month. I was considering doing, I have a category that I could add in there. I just don't feel like it's a very good one. It's favorite squash matches, which are very one-sided bouts, where one team or player decimates another, and they're all very short matches. They're pretty much all 1v1s that were like just too short to be a competitive type, and I considered putting them into their own category. But like I said, it feels kind of like a weak entry into the whole thing. So I think we're going to just have we're just going to have the 1 month off. I was also considering doing our planning in May, but I want to have the ceremony in July, and that's 2 months away, and it's kind of hard to plan for something that far ahead, so I don't think we'll be doing that either. So it's just going to be an off month where nothing happens. So let's drop down here. I could have gotten that coal, but I guess not. I feel like there was another Minecraft type update that I want to mention. I guess it's the thing that I'm about to talk about, because I can't think of anything else going on. But I did spend a lot of time at the Guardian farm. Oh yeah, look at this. We have reached the end wall over here. Matter of fact, we're completely full. So you know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to. I'm just gonna break this. We're gonna go all the way to the end. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna have to do this. Oops, that's not right. Like that. So this will be like, if we reach the end wall again, it'll end like one row shorter, and then we'll just do a third one, and yeah. So we're starting back here again. I'm gonna have to clear all this up when we get to building. I guess I'm gonna have to build from that wall over when I start building all this up. So this over here, this weird pile of lapis blocks, is actually a very simple map of all the chunks that we have to dig out. This being the front side here, and this being the back side. So this is the one that we're working on now. And we got 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I think 4, 8, 12, 16, yep, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and technically 21 and a half, because we got pretty much half of that done. So it's we got a ways to go. But like I said, with the update not happening till the end of the year, most likely, I have plenty of time to dig this out and do what I wanted to with it. So, so that's good. I got none of those. I got one of these. Got a few of these. Got a few of these. I'm gonna put these back on number 2. Pop these in the oven. Turn these into blocks. Fill that up. Fill that up. And put the rest away. We're actually going to cook this sword. Nice. Pop that into here. So yeah, I guess we'll put these chests over here. I've been collecting grass blocks, as you can see. These are all the ones the Endermen have been bringing down. So the area above me is probably just an absolute mess up there. So, what else has been going on? I guess IRL stuff is really what's been going on for me. The main thing is that I had a bit of a moment with my unemployment. Nothing serious. It's been, let me turn my sound down so I can actually talk during this. It's already down, but yeah, so I, had to renew my unemployment because it's been a year, and, just had to wait for the unemployment office to basically review my claim and approve it. So last week I didn't get any money from it, but it's back on today. It actually came through yesterday, so everything's all squared away with that. They were supposed to retroactively pay me. Oops, that's not where I go. Yeah, they were supposed to pay me retroactively for the week I missed, but I don't think they're gonna do that. It's not that big of a deal for me. But yeah, my moving plans are back on after a 1-week delay. So, speaking of moving, that's kind of the biggest news, I guess, is I do have a friend in Colorado who is looking to move as well. They're trying to start their own business, I guess. It's kind of a not great situation. I don't. Well, it's it's an interesting situation. I don't know how good or bad it's going to be, but basically they want to start their own business. I think they want to do like a little fashion business, create some apparel, and they want to move out on their own, assuming that it does decently well. And whoops, yeah, I'm all for that. But it's kind of a not great situation. I don't think it's kind of good and not good from my end because this guy he's only a couple years younger than me, but he hasn't moved out on his own yet, so he's never done the adult stuff. He does not have his own credit. I don't think he's working currently, so he lives off of his parents. So there's a lot of like this isn't great kind of signs that maybe we shouldn't be doing this. But like on the upside, there's like I think he said his parents would co-sign for an apartment with him. So if that's the case, that might make things easier on my end if I were to become a roommate. Because if he has his parents co-sign and I co-sign, then it'd make it much more likely that we would be approved for it, I guess. So it's not the greatest situation. He wants to move to Colorado, which is really nice, because I would love to live in Colorado. But the whole thing is kind of not perfect. But at the same time, it's a little bit better than me moving out on my own, because it's quite likely that it'll be next to impossible for me to do it, even if I am able to save up plenty of money and get my credit in shape and all. Like, because I haven't worked all year because of the pandemic, it's kind of not great for me. So having someone co-sign with me and basically be my roommate would be great. And if his parents are going to co-sign as well, that would also be great. That'd be doubly great. But with him being so young, having no experience, no job, no credit, it's not looking great on his end. And he's also, because he's trying to start his own business, it also doesn't look great on that aspect. So it's not ideal. So we'll have to see how things work out. If it does work out, then that's great. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to help him get out into the real world, because I guess pretty tricky getting out here and being an adult. I've been learning that the hard way. Yeah, I moved out on my own, like completely by myself, with my own apartment. When I left my mom's place, so I know how that feels. And it would be good for him to, I guess, have somebody who's kind of been there to help understand how everything works. And yeah, we're gonna be splitting rent and utilities, so like, that should help him out. But I think the biggest red flag for me is not so much the like lack of credit or anything. It's the fact that he wants to start his own business, and I kind of feel like I'm perfectly fine with someone wanting to start their own business and all. But in the event that it doesn't work, I kind of feel like you should at least have a part-time job set up. That way you have some sort of income flowing in while you're trying to get this to take off. And I understand that he's probably, I think his parents might be helping him with his finances. Like he said, he doesn't have any credit, so he doesn't have to worry about credit card payments or anything like that. But when he gets out into the real world, he is going to have that kind of stuff. So, you know, the fact that he doesn't have any experience with any of that, and he's trying to make things work based off of a successful entrepreneurship thing, it's kind of sketchy for me, because if it doesn't work out, I'm basically going to end up supporting him completely, in which, you know, my unemployment only lasts until September. So, like, once that's done, you know, I have to get a job, and I'm pretty sure, unless I get lucky, the job that I'm going to have to get will probably be less than what I'm making on unemployment, which is kind of sad to say. So, I kind of have to hope that, yeah, I would have to hope that things go well for him in order for things to go well for me. So it is a kind of risky. So, but at the same time, it's going to be pretty difficult for me to just go out on my own when I haven't had a job in the past year, and I don't intend to have a job until unemployment runs out, because, like I said, I'm getting paid more than I would with a job. So, like, it's an odd situation to be in, as per usual. So I'm not sure. Not sure what to do, not sure how it's going to go. But hoping it all works out one way or the other. It also means, like, as much as I would love to live in Colorado, I also kind of just have my sights set on, like, the Chicago, Milwaukee kind of area. I've never lived in a actually big city before. I've been to big cities, but never actually lived in one. And I kind of like the idea of... Okay. Kind of like the idea of at least giving it a try. And ideally, I would love to be able to move to Colorado, or move to wherever I go to, and have it be a big enough city where I can sell my car and just walk to work or use public transportation. That way I don't have to pay for, like, registration and gas and car insurance for a while. I can maximize the amount of money I do have. I'm not sure if that's as viable in... I think he wants to go to Colorado Springs. I'm not sure if it's as viable to do that there. I'm not sure if Colorado Springs is a big enough city for that. Like, I'm pretty sure Denver would be, but Colorado Springs is smaller. I think it's doable to, you know, walk to work or whatever. I'm not sure how public transit is there. I'm not sure. Like, I assume they have buses there, but it's probably not as robust as, like, definitely public transit isn't going to be as robust as in, like, Chicago. So I'm not sure if I would be able to sell my car by that point. Like, maybe I could. I'm not sure. Like, in Chicago, I definitely could. In Milwaukee, I definitely could. Milwaukee's, like, just a little ways north of Chicago, so they're both, you know, equally large cities. Like, well, not equally, but, you know, they're both in the upper echelons of cities in terms of size. So I'm safely assuming that I am crashing here, yes. Or that the server's crashing. I think the server went down entirely. Interesting. But no, it's back. Maybe it was just me. But yeah, so I'm not sure. Like, I would love to live in Colorado, but I think I would have to keep my car if I do. Or at the very least have enough money to trade in for a new one. And I think I'll be able to do that. Like, I'm still expecting a tax refund for my unemployment. I've heard that it won't come in until May. So if it does, That's going to be a big boost to towards moving, but that's assuming that I get it. I'm pretty sure I will, because even though I had the student tax break, I think I'm still technically paying taxes. It's just that the tax break for being a student is what paid for it, is what I'm guessing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I wish somebody would have taught me how taxes work, because I just use TurboTax to get my taxes done. But I think that's how it works. So, assuming it is, then yeah, I should get a refund of a decent amount. So yeah, I'm hoping that's how it works. If it does, that'd be great. And then maybe I could get my own car. You know, something that's not going to fall apart on me every turn. Our car's been doing pretty well, actually, lately. It's, there seems to be a small issue with the air conditioning. Not the air itself, but just there's something in there that's, mechanically getting stuck, as you switch from cold to hot. But I can fix it by turning the fan up, which I guess what I'm essentially doing is forcing whatever it is to move over to where it's supposed to be, just with air power alone. So I'm not sure what that is, but I'm hoping that it chills out until I can move. So yeah, we'll see about that. Anything else I want to mention? I got my first dose of the vaccine. That's cool. That's pretty much it. Turn that down again. Yeah, I got the first dose of my vaccine. All I got was muscle ache afterwards. I think I was a little bit fatigued as well, but that's about it. I'll get my second dose in May, early May. So it's exciting. Getting vaccinated, I can return to the real world. Which, as an introvert, doesn't mean anything to me. I hardly interact with anyone anyways in the real world. Just rather stay here in my giant cavern, digging up a hole. Oh yeah, that's the last thing I want to mention, is UHC Season 30. Shawson brought up... Shawson asked about, in Discord, about how we want to do Season 30, because last time we did Nixer versus Killer for the Series 2 Championship, and we just did 2 teams. This time we were going... I think he was considering doing 2 teams again, but because the gap between him, Shawson, and Killer is so large, it just doesn't seem like the thing to do, because Killer's almost guaranteed to win anyways. Like, he's got a pretty comfortable lead. It's not completely guaranteed that he'll win. But knowing Killer and how he plays, how well he plays, he's pretty much guaranteed to win the championship. Like, he would have to have a disastrous season, and then Shawson and I would have to have phenomenal seasons in order to pass him. But yeah, so he was wondering if anybody would care, basically, if, you know, how do we want to do Season 30. I suggested 3 teams instead of 2. Because there's 3 of us eligible for the championship. And Dennis is kind of on the bubble out area, basically where Aces was for Season 20. So, yeah, my suggestion was to do... Oh, that disappeared. I lost a torch. So yeah, that basically meant that we would have 3 teams instead of 2 this time around. However, because I'm pretty much the only one that is that interested in the whole leaderboard stuff anyways, like, I was like, I'm open to having a regular UHC. And there's pretty much no other response. I think Asus mentioned something as well. But looks like looks like Shawson has decided that's going to be a regular UHC. So it's a teensy bit disappointing, but I did say that, you know, since I'm probably the only one that actually cares about the leaderboard stuff, that it's whatever, you know. So, not sure how this season's gonna go then. Like, if we do random teams and Shawson, Killer, and I are all on the same team, that'd be kind of weird. It kind of solidifies a Killer win, and Shawson and I would be like this awkward teammate arrangement. Although, like I said, if I'm the only one that actually cares about the whole leaderboard and championship thing, it's whatever. That's kind of it's how long have we been recording? 26 minutes. I was gonna get onto a rant, but I guess I can briefly talk about it. Hopefully, briefly. Kind of the issue that we've kind of had as a group for the longest time is doing things as a group. Like, I think we do have, you know, we do have some instances of doing things together. You know, you see, you know, UHC is a good example where we come together as a group. The UHC Awards is a good example as well, because we're going to come together as a group. But for that, like, the only reason why we're having a UHC Awards is because I just went ahead and did it. I didn't really ask for anybody's opinion on it. I was just like, hey, this is going to happen, so get ready. And because I'm pretty sure if I would have asked, I don't think anybody would have cared for the most part. Like, I would probably get a couple people, like, saying that they're interested. That sounds fun. But if it weren't for... But besides them, like, we got so many people on Discord and so few opinions on things. Like, Shawson asking about Season 30, the only responses he got was from me and Asus. And that was it. Nobody else responded, because I guess, you know, nobody really cared. And it's kind of sad, because, yeah, the server is very quiet. You know, we don't even... I think some people do stuff outside of Minecraft. I know Naxer and Weather have been doing some streaming together. You know, there's Laser Nights with Lemons and Mixin, but it's kind of a separate entity. You know, we also have the Dad Pad, which is what you've seen some of the Among Us content on my channel is, but that's also a separate entity with, you know, a bunch of different people. So, like, that's kind of the issue, is, we're all kind of, for the longest time, we've all been just kind of doing our own things, and anytime anybody tries to do, like, stuff for the community that tries to get the community involved, like Weather tried to do another Dang City this time, you know, even calling back all the way back to like Project Kowloon and yeah, just other stuff like that. It's like you'll get some interest for a bit from a few people, but generally it either dies out or nobody ends up caring. And I'm not innocent on this either. You know, I didn't really contribute to the new Dang City at all, but that's because I have this going on. And that's part of the problem for me as well, is that I'm doing my own thing too. So I'm, you know, not the best, not the saint in all this either. So, but you know, I kind of feel like if we had more interest in doing things together as a community, then we would probably have a more vibrant and flourishing group, and we would have more activity in general. Yeah, it doesn't have to be on this server, but just having content in general. But I think some people are just moving on to other aspects of their lives. Some people are just moving on to different groups that might be more active, I guess, doing other projects and stuff. And I'm kind of surprised that stuff like this server and UHCs have lasted as long as they have, because it seems like interest in anything together is kind of waning and never really had strength to begin with, because it's been quite rare to see people work together on stuff and do stuff as a group. And it happens for a little while sometimes and then dies right back out. So I kind of wish that there was more interest in doing stuff, and I need to do that as well. Um, but yeah, like, there's so many examples of what we could do as a group, and so many attempts to keep like some aspect of community going on, even just on the JFS. Like, the ABBA tournament is stuck at Joda versus Weather. Like, I should probably just ask them to do a triple threat match at some point, just to get it over with, since I don't think either of them could be bothered to finish it, and I don't think they would want. I don't think either of them would want to do 2 ABBA cavings, let alone 1. So I think I could force one out of them just by asking to do a triple threat match. But yeah, like, I'm surprised UHC keeps going, because it's a community thing, and I think it really only keeps going because people like Shostin and me before him, and we just kind of push it along, in spite of everything. Because if it weren't for people who just like forces things forward, I don't think anything would be getting done. So, like, if I asked the community if they think that UHC Awards would be a fun idea, probably wouldn't get much of a response. And in the voting, like, for the nominations and stuff, like, I understand there's a lot to pay attention to, especially with, like, the Battle Royale video package is an hour long. It doesn't have many entries, doesn't have as many entries as the 1v1s at least, but it's an hour video. And it's got timestamps, but it's still too much of a commitment, I think, for some people. And, yeah, I don't know. And I'm glad I get like the 4 people who are interested enough to vote. The 4 or 5 of them. But we have, like, how many people? Like, we have 57 people offline alone, and then there's another 15 of us online right now, plus Mixon, plus Naxer, and then plus Fruit, Lemons, and Scott as admins. So, like, we have so many people that are on the JFS whitelist, and yet so few of them interact and do anything. So it was a pleasant surprise with I think it was the 1v1s. It was one of the previous categories where I got like 10 votes. And I was like, well, why couldn't you do this with every other category? I don't know. I just wish there was more, like, enthusiasm, I guess, with the group, like, wanting to do stuff. And by this point, it kind of feels like that a lot of people are just kind of starting to move on to other things, whether it's in their own lives or with other groups. Because, Laser Knights is a thing. I don't think that formed because of what's going on here. I'm not suggesting that. But it is a thing that has been happening recently. And it's working really well for them. But, oops. Like, right now, it's like, I'm on a multiplayer world, but I'm the only one on. Like, and that's how it's been for a long time. It's like, and like I said, I'm just as guilty as everyone else in this, and the fact that everybody's playing single player on this multiplayer server, and now I'm the only one that records anything on it. So, oh no. I don't care when to share. But, yeah, I'm the record keeper, I guess, on the server. And I'm not really keeping much records because I'm just digging a hole. So there's not much to look at, you know. So I don't know. I just wish there was more activity, and I wish people would care more and be more involved and want to do more community stuff. And you know, if it weren't for those who just kind of set things up anyways, I don't think we would have much involvement at all. So it's sometimes surprising that that the JFS continues at all, considering how little activity we get. So, but anyways, that's enough ranting. I think I definitely ranted longer than I intended to, but a good 10 minutes. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching and listening to me rant away, and I shall see you all next time.